music. He's like love, 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 and music. La la la, love, 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 and music. Love, love.
Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee, this is JD's Corner, and this is something y'all have been asking for. It is story time. It's been a minute since I did a story time. I told y'all they have to just come to me in order for me to do one, so I have one for you guys tonight. Okay, So, if you have not done so already, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel. But I'm guessing if you're watching my story time, you should be a subscriber. So make sure, if you are not a subscriber, that you subscribe. Also, do not forget to hit that notification bell to let you know when I have new videos on the horizon. Okay? So, story time. The year was, I don't know what year it was. It was around, y'all know these stories be from my in the street days. This had to have been in between 2002 and 2000 2003. It was somewhere up in between there that I was talking to this guy. So, a friend of mine had a boyfriend, okay? And her boyfriend had a cousin, okay? And I'm gonna use his real name because I have not had any contact with this person in years. Like, I don't even this person probably I don't know. His name was Damon. So I remember going to my friend's house. Her boyfriend was there, whatever. And he like, yeah, my cousin finna come pick me up or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be riding around and getting it. Again, I was probably between the ages of 18 and 20 when this was going on. So I was like, all right, whatever. You know, I wasn't thinking about nothing. This was in the midst of the whole bad guy situation. I think at this point in time, we was on the outs. That's how I know the time frame that it was. So I'm at my friend's house. We on the porch. It's late night. You know what I'm saying? It's the sun. It's all the way set. You know what I'm saying? It's nighttime or whatever. Matter of fact, no, the moon was out. Fuck the sun. The moon was out. It was a moonlit night or whatever. And then I see a shiny little red car coming up the street. You know what I'm saying? Blasting some music. Driving on fast. I was like, ooh. Who's that? Who's that person? So, cousin pull up in a cherry apple red Impala. Okay. Young hot thottish J Lee was like, oh my God, that car is so cute. I wasn't even thinking about who was driving the car. And red is my favorite color, in case y'all don't know. And the car was so clean. It was so clean. I'm like, who is this? Who car is this? This isn't the car that used to be on the block. And I'm at said friend house who live across the street from the bad guy, mind you. Yeah. Anyway, so my friend man said, oh, that's my cousin Damon. He came to pick me up. I said, that's your cousin's car? Okay. He must, does he have some money or whatever? That's a nice little car. Cousin got the car. He is a little short, and that's a lot for me to say because I'm only 5 feet. So, and I think, I'm 5'1". Back then, I probably was 5 feet. So, but he was real cute. He was real light skinned or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He had on a nice little t-shirt, nice little pair of shorts, like some fresh Air Force Ones or whatnot. But I kept looking at that little cherry apple red Chevy Impala. And I was like, oh, hey, cousin Damon. And he's like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, Ma, what's up? I was like, nothing. So then him and his cousin chit-chat. And he like, yeah, so what's your name? Yeah, my name's Jay Lee, whatever. So, me and cousin chit-chatting. And I kept thinking, oh my God, he must be not successful, but got his shit together because he's dressed nice, the car real nice, the car real clean or whatever. It was a good look. So me and cousin exchanged numbers or whatever. And we started talking or whatever. So we was talking for like a couple months. Okay, a couple months. He would come, like, he would always pick me up from my friend's house and from my house too, because of course me and bad guy was always beefing or whatever. So he would come pick me up from whatever, and we would just ride around and be chit chatting or whatever, kissing in the car. Cause back then you didn't really like go nowhere. Like in Detroit, the place to be was like riding around the city. Like you would stop at, like, you know what I'm saying, one of the parks or whatever, sit and chit chat, or you on the block just talking to people. So we would literally be going like either from block to block, from park to park, hell, from store to store, just hanging out with other people. And I never thought, like, I don't know where this boy live, and I still don't think I know that nigga last name. Anyway, all these years later, so we had a relationship. And let's say that. And I kept saying, like, so what do you do? Oh, you know, I do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm like, oh, okay. I think he was maybe like a year or two older than me. And we were like this. We was always hanging out. We was always hanging out in these streets. And I kept thinking to myself, Jay Lee, like, why don't he ever be like, come back to my house? I said he must got a girlfriend, a wife, a baby mama, or something. So cousin like, no, he not married. He don't have a girlfriend. Like, he do have a kid, but the kid live like all the way across town or whatever. He stayed with his parents, like with his mama. I said, oh, okay. Maybe he just don't want to bring me around mama. Whatever, because I don't want to bring my parents either. So we still hanging out. And I kept thinking, like, it's something, like, it's just something weird or whatever. Like, he would only come out at a certain time. He would go home at a certain time. We was always together. It would either be like certain times within the daytime or certain times within the nighttime. And I was like, it's just some weird ass things going on. And then one day he said, I gotta run to my house real quick. And I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. You know, say, okay, I'll ride with you to your house. That's cool. And so we riding around. We drove to the west side somewhere. And it was at night. Okay, it was at night. And he pulled up to this house, right? So when he pulled up to the house, I'm looking around. I'm like, well, where you going? I'm like, I'm finna go in the house. I said, where you live? He's like, yeah, I'm finna go right here. Bruh, first of all, the house looked like an abandoned crack house, okay? And the crack house already looked bad, but an abandoned crack house, it looks worse. So I was like, oh, okay. Damon go in the house. He in the house, okay? He in the house. He walk up the little raggedy ass porch. You know what I'm saying? The windows looked like they was boarded up, but also had plastic on the inside. It was really, really weird. I'm like, what the fuck? And like, I don't mean like a whole board. I mean like pieces of wood, like nailed to shit. Like they ready for the apocalypse. I was just sort of, confused. But it had power because I saw like the lights from TVs or whatever on. So he in the house, I'm in the car like, I think this nigga homeless and they up in here squatting. I'm so confused because, again, he got this nice ass car. He always look nice. He always has some money on him or whatever. Like, he don't seem bum-ish. But I think this dude is a bum with a car. I'm confused. So he was in the house for a little bit of a minute. The door opened up. I literally say it's a fucking zombie walking out the fucking house. It was his mama. Zombie come to the car and she knock on the window. Knock, 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 knock. And I'm like, if I just be real still, I don't think zombie lady can see me. She knock, knock, and she knocking on the driver's window. And I'm in the passenger seat. So I'm looking like, I'm not rolling the window down for no goddamn zombie. Even if you did come out the goddamn house, I don't know if you just murdered him and now you want to murder me. At this point, I'm in a goddamn murder mystery movie. And so he like, Ma, come back in the house. What is you doing? And I'm like, oh, so she not a zombie. And she was like, I'm trying to talk to your friend. This must be the girl you always hanging out with when you borrow my car to be gone. I'm like, this is mama car? Bitch. Okay. So his mama's a zombie, so that's probably why he always in her car, because her ass can't. I don't think zombies had licenses or whatever. So, she was like, he then said to me, Fine. Jay, roll the window down. She just want to speak real quick. It was the equivalent of when someone has a dog and the dog will be barking at you and you scared of dogs and they say, oh, it ain't gonna bite you. It just wants you to pet it real quick. I don't put that bulldog ass dog. No. I didn't want to talk to the zombie lady. Bro, when I say she looked like a zombie, I mean she really looked like, I mean it wasn't a Walking Dead zombie, but it was like the beginning stage of what a zombie look like when they wake back up on the Walking Dead and they wake up and they be that verse zombie-ish thing. That's what it was. And I was like, and this was before the Walking Dead. Okay, this is back in the 2000s. I hit the little window roll down thing like do do do. Then it come down like 1, 2, 3, like not all the way so she couldn't get in the car and get me, but whatever she had to say she could say it, I could hear her. And I'm like, oh, it's night, I don't want no bugs in the car. Hey, how you doing? So you taking my son, huh? I said, and her voice is a goddamn crazy person's voice. And I said, yeah, we talking or whatever. Yeah, he be going to my car all the time. I know he be talking to you because he always says something about some girl named Jay. And I'm like, well, yeah, I'm Jay or whatever. Hey, how you doing, Miss Damon mama? Yeah, you know, the motherfucker don't be going to give me no money. He come borrow my car to guy. I'm like, this is really his mama's car. Like, he really out here in these streets. And his mama, and I'm confused, like, how the fuck does she have that car? Like, where'd she get it from? You know what I'm saying? What zombie store did she get the goddamn car from? I'm confused. And then she said, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I was good on my feet or whatever until I started, you know what I'm saying, smoking crack again. Oh my God, she smoked crack again. Okay. Who admits to smoking crack again? I'm like, okay, this is some crazy ass shit. And then I'm like, oh, okay, well, have a nice night. And I'm trying to do. Road when I got back up, and she's still talking. So now here come Damon. Damon then went in the house and changed clothes. For what, nigga? You should not have brought me with you, okay? Because at this point in time, you and your mama car and y'all live in an abandoned crack house, and it's because your mama back on crack. I was just so outdone about this, but he was so cute. You know what I'm saying? He was so cute. I was young and I was stupid, and I didn't stop talking to him, which is the crazy part. When he got back in the car and we left, he didn't say nothing. Like, I'm like, does he not know I just lived through a traumatic, you know what I'm saying, murder mystery experience? Like, what's going on here? And then I said, so that's your mama? Yeah, she back on that shit. And I thought to myself, well, evidently y'all, both of y'all are, because you got to be a goddamn crackhead, crazy person to bring me to your crack house with your crack mama and your mama's crack car. And at this point, I'm looking like, did she smoke crack in the car? Like, have I ever been in the car after she smoked crack? Do I have the crack in me now? Like, is crack smoke the same as weed smoke? You can get a contact? I'm confused. I'm scared at this point that I am in some way affected by crack. Okay. I said, you know what? This, you know what I'm saying? I'm tired. Take me home. He like, man, you know what I'm saying? That's how girls act every time they see where I live at. And when they be my mama, you know what I'm saying? They judge us. But you know what I'm saying? You know, that's just where we live. And I'm like, oh, now I feel bad. Okay. What is the reason why I kept talking to him? So like maybe a month went by. And again, at this point, I've seen his mama on multiple occasions. Hey, Mama Damon. She just, you know, she's crackish. It is what it is. It wasn't until the last time I remember seeing him, he asked me to borrow some money. This is my thing. You live in a crack house. You have a car. I don't even have a car. I did not have a car back then. I was absolutely confused. And I think he asked to borrow like $100. And I was like, ask your mama. I'm not, because I mean, he wasn't like my boyfriend or whatever. We were just kicking it. And I said, you know what? I don't think this gonna work out because you ain't got your life in order. Like, I don't think it ain't never a reason for you to be asking me to borrow some money. So, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and take me home, and that's gonna be that. And he took me back home, and I haven't heard from him ever since then. I don't know anyone who has seen him. Even my friend who was dating his cousin, she ain't talked to the cousin in years either. So I don't know if Damon alive out in these streets, or he just like set up in that crack house. And for the love of me, I can't remember where it was he lived, because back then when I was being driven around, I never paid attention to where I was going, like, which is a bad thing. But I dated I guess a crack baby. everybody maybe dated a crack baby, because crack was an epidemic, in one way or the other. But I mean, I just now feel like you can't judge a person by their car or how they dress, because had you seen Damon in that cherry apple red Impala, you would have not have known that his mama was at home smoking crack, that he was driving her car, and that he was broke getting money from his cracked out mama. I said, you know what? Ever since then, I will not date a guy based on his car. Okay, I need to see your house first and foremost. Okay, and matter of fact, I had such an experience with that. The next guy I met, I'ma call him Mr. Officer. Okay, Mr. Officer. Mr. Officer, I talked to him for a couple years too. Met him one day hanging out at night. Again, this is back in the day too. He had like a white, like, Ford Explorer, I think it was, and it was cute. He had little sounds in it or whatever. He had the TVs in it. But I remember Damon's crack house. And I said, Officer, what his name? I'm calling him Officer, because that's his job now, wasn't then. I said, you know what I'm saying? Hey, Mr. Officer. He was real cute too. He was a little bit short, not short as Damon though. Officer's about 5'8", maybe, yeah, like 5'8", 5'9". Also light skin. That's just happened with my type back in the day. And I was like, met him. Look, I met him one night while hanging out with Rain. Me and Rain was in the car together. We were together. He pulled up to the parking lot. It was parking lot pimping or whatever. And he pulled up, and we started talking, exchanged numbers or whatever. And my little fast ass said, I don't know if this your car. Like, I don't know if you live with somebody else. I need proof that you don't live in the crack house, is what I said to him. Because I'm like, crackhead Damon's house, not crackhead Damon, Damon's crack house, had made me think you can't judge a dude by his car and how cute their clothes is. I need to see your house. Well, Mr. Officer said, no, you ain't said nothing but a word. The day I met him, this was back in 2000. He was 25, so I had to be 22 because we're 3 years apart. And wait, was he? Maybe I was 20 and he was 23. I think that's what it was. When we started talking, it was 23 and 25. Anyway, I jumped in his car, in his truck, and his friend who was with him got in the car with Rain. So Rain took the strange man home of a car, and I got in the car with the strange man and went to his house. Okay, because I said, I need to be sure you don't live in no damn crack house. And he drove me out to the nice little boondocks of Inkster, Michigan or whatever, which was a good 45-minute drive from where I lived. And I spent the night. And I'm leaving it at that. But I can tell you this, he ain't had no crack house. And me and Mr. Officer are still friends to this day. We dated off and on all these years. He's a great friend. And you know what I'm saying? Anyway, that was my little story time. If you have watched this to the end, you have to put in 380 and then the last food you ate. Okay, so put in 380 and the last food you ate in the comment section so I can know that you made it to the end of my video. Anyway, peace.